I've got a question. Is a player that scores 73 goals and put up the second greatest goal scoring season of all time worthy of a Ballon d'Or? Or is it a player who was the best player in the tournament while leading Spain to the first World Cup in 16 years? Or is it a player spearheading the best team in club football right now, winning back-to-back Champions Leagues? Or is it a player who brings immeasurable value to his team while also being a World Cup winner? Or should it be a player who scored 10 goals in a single tournament and also became the all-time leading scorer in World Cup history? Well, the answer is pretty simple. All these seasons are worthy of a Ballon d'Or. But what if all these seasons are happening at the same time? 5 players, 5 legitimate cases being made, and only one award. Who should win football's most coveted award this season? Well, that depends on who you ask and what they value. Winning the Ballon d'Or usually means putting up numbers or GA that jump off the stat sheet. It's not the only thing that matters, but big eye-popping stats or GA have almost become a prerequisite for winning the Ballon d'Or. And right now there's 2 players in this game whose numbers don't just stand out this season, they stand out amongst every season because they put up video game numbers. If we just look at raw GA and stats, Kane and Mbappe are gapping the entire field. I mean, Kane's numbers are so historic that he is statistically having the second greatest goal scoring season of all time. Let that sink in. There used to be a time where putting up these numbers all but guaranteed Messi and Ronaldo the Ballon d'Or. As Kane and Mbappe's numbers are so historic that they make the cases of Dembele, Yamal, and Rodri look a bit pedestrian. Because if GA and stats alone told us who the Ballon d'Or winner should be, the award would be a foregone conclusion every single year, as this metric only favors the attackers and less of the midfielders. As in 2013, Cristiano Ronaldo scored 63 goals in a single calendar year, which all but guaranteed him the Ballon d'Or in that season, despite not winning any trophies, ahead of players like Frank Ribery and Lionel Messi. But in today's day and age, those numbers might not even land you in the top 3 spots of the Ballon d'Or. But like I said, these numbers alone tend to undermine players like Lamine Yamal and Rodri, who bring immeasurable value to their respective teams. To put into perspective, I brought out Rodri's stats from the 2026 season. As in just this season alone, Rodri has completed 91.2% of his passes. As to show you how historic this season is, the only players to ever come close to this season is prime Iniesta having the greatest season of his career, as the value he brought to the Spanish national team at the World Cup cannot be shown or measured on a stat sheet, as he anchored a team that considered one goal or tournament. In most cases, when so much players are having incredible seasons, the tiebreaker in the eyes of fans and voters comes down to how well their team performed in the season. The second ingredient to the Ballon d'Or recipe: win trophies and win a lot of trophies, as it is a formula that has led to more Ballon d'Ors than less in the history of football. About a week ago, the Ballon d'Or Association released a statement stating that the World Cup helps but does not guarantee you a Ballon d'Or. But that completely contradicts how they viewed the award in 2023, as despite having the greatest goal-scoring season in Premier League history, on his way to a treble, a golden boot, and 5 trophies, Lionel Messi ended up walking away with the award after a historic World Cup season. Which begs the question, how much should the World Cup be worth in the grand scheme of things when it comes to the Ballon d'Or? As Mbappe became the all-time top scorer in the history of the World Cup, should he be awarded the Golden Ball based on his individual performances? Because the criteria for the award kinda changes every year, to be honest. To put it into perspective, here's a chart of the players that won the Ballon d'Or while having trophyless seasons. It's a bit of an old school list, but a notable name on this list is Luka Modric in 2018, who was awarded the Ballon d'Or despite losing in the final of the World Cup, over players like Mbappe and Ronaldo. So let's add more context to the argument. Who truly deserves this year's Ballon d'Or? Well, that kind of all depends on what you value. Because if advanced metrics told us who the real Ballon d'Or winner should be, then Rodri, for the same reason he won it in 2024, would be walking away with this year's award. But fans will disagree, stating that a player who purely played games should win the award based on the 7-game tournament, which is totally valid. But you can say the same for Ousmane Dembele, who despite just 10 league goals, leads the contenders when it comes to win shares. But even advanced metrics don't make this decision any easier, because as a result of the Ballon d'Or criteria changing every single year, we don't quite know what this year's criteria could be, as players like Kvaratskhelia also have to fight this narrative, despite having a great season. Beyond what you do on the field, the story has to be in your favor, especially in type of seasons like this where there's so many players in contention, which completely reduces the odds of players like Rodri and Ousmane Dembele, as they've already received the Ballon d'Or once in their career, and favors players like Mbappe and Kane who've never won it before and are putting up historic seasons to match it. But as you can see, the trophy argument favors Ousmane Dembele, Lamine Yamal, and Rodri. But if this award is truly an individual award, at least on paper, it should only be a two-man race between Kane and Mbappe, as 59.4 Ballon d'Or winners have not won either the Champions League or the World Cup in their careers. Which begs the question, should a record-breaking goal-scoring season from Harry Kane be able to propel him into the #1 spot, despite quote-unquote not showing up on the biggest stages when England needed him? But at the same time, narratives can lead us astray. It can let our emotions dictate what we feel. Because in my opinion, a player like Lamine Yamal shouldn't really even be in this discussion. But because of the narratives and the PR, he is. As last season, he finished second in the Ballon d'Or despite putting only 9 goals in the league last season. So, where do the narratives actually point us to? Well, to answer that, I have to point out that there's not really a clear answer in this award. Because this year, Lamine Yamal's numbers are way better, but if you look at the rest of the field, they make his numbers look a bit pedestrian, to say the least. As like I said, in 2024, Rodri won the award as a result of leading Spain to the Euros, while winning the best player in the tournament. If that is the exact same reason, then the World Cup would be able to propel him to another Ballon d'Or. Do I think he deserves it? Based on my metrics, he doesn't deserve it. But here's what exposes the real contradiction. Is the Ballon d'Or the best season, the best moment, the best PR, the biggest trophies, the best statistics, or the strongest story? Well, it kind of has a little bit of both, to be honest with you. To keep it simple, if it went to the player with the best PR, either Rodri or Lamine Yamal will be walking away with the Ballon d'Or. If it went to the player with the best stats, Harry Kane will comfortably be walking away with this year's Ballon d'Or. But if the Ballon d'Or is truly an individual award, then Kylian Mbappe should be walking away with this year's Ballon d'Or. Thank you for watching.